Hello friends, it's Julie with Butterfly Papers, and today I want to tell you about another project I'm doing with my Use It or Lose It junk journal destash that I'm doing, I think I said till the end of the year. I haven't been making many full-size journals. I've just been going through my stuff. But when I was a yarn rep, I had a lot of these samples that just were swatches basically of knitting or crochet or something, but to show off the yarns. And I still have a lot of those left because when the colors were retired or yarn was retired, I would keep the samples, and that was just part of the job. So what I did was I lined them with some paper and I just glued it. I know I should get my sewing machine out at one point, but it's just glue. And then put together a bunch of papers, and voila, we have a sweater journal. Some of these well actually a lot of these papers come from a book. I think it was Paper that I bought a while ago, and it's just not my thing to buy pre-made books and work with them. I just don't enjoy working with them. I like to work with scrappy things, not put together things, if that makes sense. But these were a lot of fun to make, and then I started to get creative with the covers. This one is actually a bracelet. This is one that is could be for a guy, because I made sure to just make it plain colors, no florally stuff in here. Well, that's a scrolly thing. But this just basically, oh no. Did I see what I think I saw? Oh, I have it upside down, that's why. Yeah, phew. Okay, I just picked it up upside down. Alrighty, moving right along. So that's just a bracelet that happened to fit on here. I'll make it a little bit, give it a belt. I put used some of my snippet roll and put it on a couple of them that were kind of plain, so that this was fun, a fantasy look. This one had a saying on it. There are times when fear is good. It must keep its watchful place at the heart's controls. There is advantage in the wisdom won from pain. Should the man rear a heart that nowhere goes in fear, how shall such a one any more respect the right? So that was that quote. Then there was one more I thought I did. Oh, here it is with that. So that's just glued on. And then I got, there's some of these like this, I feel it doesn't need anything on it. I got some of my clip-on earrings, and I thought that would be nice for that, because it's nice to know where the front is too, because they look alike. And then I just put a stick pin on here. I thought it looked good. This is just a hair clip. I think it is a Vera Bradley hair clip. I love this, how this one turned out. And I'm going to be putting these in the shop, the bookstore, for sale. I'm going in there tomorrow because I have a tea. So I just put a clip-on earring on the front for decoration and to tell where the front is. This one too. But this one is kind of flopping around. I don't know if I'm going to keep this one on the hair, because, let's see here. This one has got this hook on it. So maybe if I hook something, go hook deeper in there. Let's try that. If this doesn't work, I'll just take it out and forget about it. Yeah, I'm gonna forget about it. So there we go. There's my sweater journals, and I had one more made with this one, as you've seen, but unfortunately my puppy thought it was a good one. So look, that's what happened to this one. That was really cute too. And I don't know if I'll remake that or not, but I have these here that I have to finish, and I will finish one with you here, or actually we'll get as far as we can to finishing. Oops, just a second. Okay. So let's see, which one shall we do? Does it matter? I don't think it matters. Here, this is a pretty one. We'll do that one. I just trim things down to the size of the journal, and a lot of it is just guesstimating, because these are little imperfection, scrappy things. This is a great way to use up pieces of this and that to make smaller notebooks, and you may not have Not many people do have swatches of yarn sitting around, but you might have something else that has been sitting around your house, not used, that you could think, what could I do with that? And just be a little creative. Yeah, that one's a little bit. And then I have, oops, more scraps. So I am going to need to get rid of some scraps again. I've been trying to go from the tallest one to the shortest because these cutoffs like this could potentially be put into a smaller one. Somebody sent me this, a grungy piece of paper all crumpled up. I hope people like grungy. But my journals have been selling. Now, I am not selling them for the price I could probably sell them for had I sold them online. But I am okay with that for now because it is a way to get things out of my house, make a little bit on it. I certainly wouldn't make a wage on this. So have you sold your journals or are thinking about selling it? Maybe I should do a little video about that, about how to sell, because I have, not that I've sold journals everywhere, but I have experience in selling different venues. Right there. And also I have a class coming up on junk journals. So would you be interested in me telling you about how to do a class? That's another thing we can do too. Now what I've been doing is just taking the tallest ones and putting them in the middle. That whistling sound is my dog. He is whining. Oh, we got to put this in the middle actually, even though it's not the tallest. And not being, just not overthinking things and just doing it. Ranger. Make sure everything is where I want it to be. Hey, how you doing? Okay. Then I take binder clips and I put one here. I actually kind of flatten these out. You've probably seen me do this countless times if you've been on my channel before. If you're not, we're going to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And because we're only doing one signature, I don't need to mark any holes. Oh, so there's, let's see here, straighten that out. So I just eyeball it. And this is a crocodile. That's what I prefer to use. Now you might be going, oh no, you forgot your cover. I didn't. And I'll show you why in a second here. Okay, get rid of this because they do stick to the knitting, right, Ranger? Alright, so the reason why I didn't poke a hole in here is because I don't want to punch through the knitting and make a hole because then it will unravel. So what I have been doing is making sure this is upright, and then I'll put this here, and then I just use the needle to poke a hole through that last piece of paper. So we'll just do that. Make sure we're at the fold. I hope people like foxes because I have a few of these with the fox from that paper book. And then somebody was asking in one of the YouTube YouTube, Facebook groups, what kind of needle you use. And my needle of choice is a tapestry needle because they have a blunt tip, so it doesn't, you can just go through the hole I made, and a large eye. So that's, you can get tapestry needles that are smaller like this one, and see, it's got the large eye and a blunt tip. Uh-oh, Ranger. Rubber. And I mentioned I had some embroidery floss, so I've been somewhat matching, if I can, the color. This one might be a hard one to match. I could just do a blue or a green, get close to it. That's probably the closest one. Yeah. I put this was full, but I put most of these in with the advent calendars because I don't need that much. And I hadn't actually used it for a while since I got it, so I thought, well, now I'm using it after I got rid of some. Then that's just the way things go, and it's okay. Oh, well, this might not be the best choice because it's only 2 thickness. I don't know if I want that. Oftentimes it's like 4 strands, so no, we're gonna go with a different one. That one, maybe? I know it's not a perfect match, but it's better than what I usually use, a crochet thread, which would really stand out on it. So at least we have a little bit of camouflage. This is better. Okay. I think we probably will use most of this. Okay. I do leave a tail because I don't want to lose it. So what you do is you go in, because I want the tie on the inside. I start from the inside and go through. Make sure to leave a tail on the inside, and then you go through either the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. And I kind of have to guesstimate how this is going to come out. Ranger, you were just outside. He has been whiny today. I don't know what's going on. It's his first snow, so maybe it's that. Okay, so one other thing I've been doing is poking through this way to make the hole, and then putting my finger there so I know where to go through. There we go. That was easier. And go through there, and then we go through the bottom, and then find this hole again. There we go. All right. Now I like to have a string on each side of the middle string and pull it taut. Make sure this is tight too. Not too tight that it's bending it or tearing. And then we tie it tight, and I do 2 knots. This is when you can decide, do you want to make a bow? Do you want to have dangly things? I don't. I just want to be done like that. And there you have it. That was easy as that. Actually, it's not that easy to make these because you see all the trimming I did for just this one because all of the sizes are different for each of them. Each of these are different sizes, so I couldn't like do a mass cut. So these actually take a long time, and I actually had these put away in a box because I probably made a few, and then I thought, this is what did I get myself into? Why do I do this to myself? Because mass making on this scale, it kind of gets tedious after a while. So, but now I'm in the use it or lose it. So when I opened the box, I went, oh, those notebooks. But now that I thought, well, I'm just going to bind them. You know, I've already put together the papers. And yeah, so I'm going to get through this stack. I will take to the shop tomorrow when I go for the high tea, which it's not a real high tea. If you're from England, you know that high tea is actually like dinner or lunch in England, and it's just tea is what we would consider a high tea. Anyways, because I have a friend in England who tells me these things. So these are going to go in the shop tomorrow. I don't know. I probably put like $15 on them. I know they're this much work as I put into them that maybe it could be more, but I just want to move them out, and then I'll have a second batch to go in later, and it gets things out of my house and decluttered. And so let me know what you think, and what kind of things do you have sitting around your house that you haven't been using, that you're just kind of waiting for you to do. You just need an idea. I'd love to hear what you're doing. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next page. Goodbye.